What did Oppenheimer say to Einstein, and what did it really mean? Throughout Oppenheimer, a conversation between J. Robert Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein is frequently referred to, and the conversation is finally revealed in the last scene, and it has a deep meaning. The new Christopher Nolan-directed movie isn't just about the titular physicist leading a group of scientists to create the atomic bomb. It's about how Louis Strauss attempted to publicly humiliate Oppenheimer and destroy his name after being embarrassed by him. The film is also about Oppenheimer's inner conflict regarding leading the Manhattan Project, and the scientist's conversation with Einstein in the final scene perfectly explains the movie's meaning. In the movie, Louis Strauss becomes immediately paranoid when Einstein ignores him following Einstein and Oppenheimer's conversation by the lake. Strauss is convinced that Oppenheimer uttered something negative about the chairman of the EG to the celebrated scientist, and that's the very catalyst that strains Strauss and Oppenheimer's working relationship. In Strauss' last scene, Strauss and an aide tells the EG chairman that maybe Einstein and Oppenheimer weren't talking about him, and that Strauss is being totally paranoid and narcissistic. And that's when the fabled conversation is finally unveiled. It turns out that Oppenheimer didn't say anything negative about Strauss to Einstein whatsoever, and Strauss' name wasn't even mentioned. Instead, the two scientists were discussing the inner conflict Oppenheimer had during the creation of the atomic bomb, and what the consequences may be now that the project has been completed. Oppenheimer tells Einstein that he fears that the creation of the bomb will start a chain reaction where other nations attempt to outdo the atomic bomb, creating endless amounts of nuclear weapons, and as a result, destroying the world. What follows is the movie's final dialogue when Einstein asks, "What of it?" To which Oppenheimer responds, "I believe we did." The final moment of Oppenheimer is a mini-montage of modern nuclear weapons being activated across the world and the whole of Earth being torched, which is exactly what Oppenheimer meant by "I believe we did," and exactly what he was afraid of. Oppenheimer's reasoning behind leading the Manhattan Project was that he would rather have a potentially world-ending bomb in the hands of the US government than the Nazis. The scientist raced against Germany to build the bomb and won. However, while creating the bomb, he realized that he had simply started a chain reaction where every nation would have nuclear weapons of their own. Instead of building a bomb to end the war, Oppenheimer sped up a planet-ravaging race in nuclear weapon building, as every other country now knows that huge bombs can be built with atoms and hydrogen. After the events of Oppenheimer, the physicist became an advocate against the creation of nuclear weapons, especially the creation of the hydrogen bomb, which was created by Oppenheimer's Edward Teller, the Hungarian scientist who betrayed Oppenheimer during his hearing. Well, "I believe we did" is such a haunting line, especially as the end of the world visual follows. The sequence essentially adapts the scientist's most famous quote, "Now I become death, destroyer of worlds."